Hello, hello, and welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. Just to let you know, we normally, I'm sorry, what is this? What, you did not run this past central processing. That's not allowed. Okay. Normally, we cover hello. We cover we cover the news and together, and then I look at the astrology or the tarot or something to do with that. But there is so much news today. A lot of today. First of all, strap in, and secondly, Jennifer, we are wearing the same today. Oh, we're wearing the same thing? Okay. Oh, good. I'm sorry. I thought it was like you're wearing the same thing you were wearing yesterday. No. Anyway, and I need the kitties. I need the fuzzness. Okay. All right. There's going to be a lot of news today, just straight up news and details and research and so, all right, let me put this over off on this side. So, because some of this I can just have in the description box, but some of it I was doing research and it is not yet in the description box. And I think we need to start with Iran. Oh, we can start with a plane. There's a new plane. Hang on. Oh, Jennifer, very cool. Let me show you something really amazing. There is someone who just caught where is it? Right. Hang on. Here we go. There is a new plane. Massive double-body aircraft soars over a job site in California. So this isn't related to the news, but there's no sound to be. The sound's not important. It sounds like a plane. So, holy buckets. So, and that's from CBS News. So just be aware. We don't have a lot of details, just so you know. It has a wingspan of 385 feet and is considered to be the world's largest plane. Wow. All right, anyway. I thought that would be a good place to start, just so you're aware. Two planes glued together, kind of. It is different though. The bodies of those two planes are thinner. So anyway, are not A1. What if you left your plane in the other section? There we go. All right. Anyway, I thought you'd want to see. So pause that, and we will start with Iran. Its purpose? I don't know. I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's brand new. I don't know if it's been out for a while. I just don't know. So, all right, the kitties are back. Good morning, neighbor. All right, Amy says the Stratolaunch Rock is a giant in the skies with a wingspan of 385 feet, making it the largest aircraft ever. Thank you. It does, Michelle. Reminds me of Howard Hughes and his planes. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Valerie. Spruce Goose. Yes, Spruce Goose. Okay. At 4 minutes, 30 seconds in, we are going to start with Iran and some things that are in the news that have not been really brought out the way they should. Oh, Claude, thank you. F-45 wants Canadians to pay half for Geordie Howe Bridge. Problem, Canada's financed it to 100%. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. Thank you. Okay. All right. Make this 5:10. I have research to tell you about. La, 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 la. All right, up here, we're going to talk about Cuba. We are going to, okay. Melissa had a question about Iran. And yes, ships are absolutely moving. Here is the confirmed military picture for this weekend. The USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group is already in the Arabian Sea. It has been since January 26th. The USS Gerald R. Ford, which is the world's largest carrier, just redirected from the Caribbean into the Middle East as of February 13th. This gives Trump 2 carrier strike groups. An F-35 already shot down an Iranian drone approaching the Lincoln on February 3rd. Iranian gunboats tried to seize a U.S. tanker in the Strait of Hormuz the same day. F-15E fighters repositioned from the UK to Jordan. There are more than 30,000 U.S. troops in the region, and Trump said Thursday that failure to reach a deal would be, quote, very traumatic, unquote, and gave roughly a month timeline, and that is a quote, a month. Indirect talks happened in Oman on February 6th. Witkoff will meet with Iranian representatives before the Geneva Ukraine talks tomorrow. This is the largest U.S. military buildup near Iran since the June 2025 strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. The dual carrier posture is a clear signal that military operations are live. And although we know that Trump wants a deal, he wants the win. But if talks collapse in the next 2 to 4 weeks, there could be strikes. If you want to know the astrology, the eclipse in the U.S. chart is going to be squaring. The eclipse is going to be squaring Uranus in Taurus, and of course Saturn has moved into Aries. So you've got Taurus, which is resources, materials, security. Aries is impulsive military action possibly without a stable foundation. And it's not reassuring. So the other information I have about the Iran situation, because I was concerned on, serious analysts. Bob McNally, is it Rapidin Energy Group? Former White House energy advisor, says there's a 75% odds of some sort of U.S. attack on Iran in the coming days to weeks. He said this on CNBC 2 weeks ago. Let's just say the situation has not de-escalated. Polymarket predicted markets 22% by the end of February, 38% likelihood by the end of March, 46% by the end of May. Polymarket also puts a 31% chance that Iran will attempt to close the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the thing to remember about this is we went through some of this with Iran last June. And the U.S. bombed 3 Iranian nuclear sites during in June 2025. Iran retaliated by hitting the U.S. airbase in Qatar. So there's recent precedents for strikes, but if I remember correctly, weren't people like calling each other ahead of time saying, hey, we're going to have strikes over here. Oh, okay. Like move my stuff. Okay, go ahead. Boom. Wow. Okay. Thanks. Wasn't that last summer? The difference between now and June, though, is the internal situation in Iran. There's some people saying the internal situation in Iran is collapsing. Protests erupted in late December over currency collapse and spread to all 31 provinces. The regime killed somewhere between 6,000 and 30,000 protesters. Man. Trump told them to stop killing protesters. I know. Here, why don't you stop killing ours, Trump? Just a thought. Just a thought. And said, quote, help is on the way, close quote. Yeah. The 40-day mourning period for the dead is starting, which historically triggers fresh waves of protests. Not good. Indirect talks happened in Oman on February 6th. Witkoff meets with Iranian representatives tomorrow before the Geneva Ukraine talks. So we know that Trump, he wants the deal. He doesn't want the war. We know that. He wants to say he's got to win. He wants to be the guy who solved Iran or whatever. But he's built up one heck of a military presence over there, and backing down without a deal would make him look weak. And the regime, the Iranian regime, is too unstable internally to make reliable commitments. So the most likely thing is probably limited strikes, according to experts. But airstrikes alone can't topple the Iranian regime. So that's, let me have a look at that. But I wanted you to have as much information as possible. And where did I, oh, here they are. It's like, where are my cards? Warm Halo says, Trump, sit down. Yes. Okay. Lewis is wondering if Private Bone Spurs will lead the troops. You're adorable. Oh, the kitties. Oh, speaking of the kitties. Oh, somebody has the heating pad and then a blankie. Little fuzzy blankie. We're washing our paws. Kelly says now the Caribbean is not protected. Good point. Because the other thing we need to look at is Cuba. Apparently things are destabilizing very quickly in Cuba. But right now we're looking at this whole Iran situation. We might run late today. I know I was running late today, but we might be on longer than normal just to get through everything. So yes, boo boy, so comfy stars. And that's important. Raymond says, now we know. Do, 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 do. See, and unlike Clinton, Bush, Obama, dumpster fire has not pulled together our allies to deal with Iran. That's how it isn't just all on our service people. And he's not in any danger. Okay. I am not surprised that it ends up with a very weak Trump. Yeah. All right. There is disappointment. What has happened in Iran is terrible. Situation is chaos. The world is looking. And there's Trump's dynasty, his legacy. I do have a death card, which is not good, but it's followed by pathetic, weak Trump. He's usually the king of wands, but here he's just a page. This man has no idea what he's doing. Jane says, what allies? Exactly. Raymond, and I ran so far. Trump couldn't get away. Sorry, that was so off key. Anyway, yeah, the emperor. I think of him. Yeah, we have. Look, our military is really strong, and our service people are really good. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I am so sorry that the commander-in-chief is this incompetent fool. I didn't vote for him. No one here voted for him. Trust me. Moving resources around, hemmed in, and sleepless nights. Well, that's not good, but that's not World War III, let me tell you. So our military has all kind of good stuff. All kind of stuff that can do what it needs to do. So yeah, there could be some kind of strikes, some kind of, all right, put that there. Kind of put that missile, put it there. Take that and put it over there. But I'm not getting a major escalation here, so thank heavens. But you have to remember, I've been telling you that Neptune and now Saturn have moved into Aries, which is the martial sign. It's ruled by Mars, the soldier. And if there's a setting for each of the signs, then Aries is a battlefield. It doesn't guarantee that we're going to be in a war, but especially because it's on the bottom of our chart. It's at our home. So Trump is likely to do more damage here than overseas, but it's worrying. All right. Moving on. Okay. I had some notes here on Cuba. All right, before I get to that, okay, at 18 minutes, there's been a foul stench in the background for a while now, but people haven't really been talking about it. And it's time to talk about it. Yeah. Joy says, I thought love was a battlefield. Whoa, 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 whoa. We are strong. Anyway, there's been a foul stench in the background for a while now. And yeah, it's time to talk about it. The human stock photo, Kushner. During Dumpster Fire's first administration, Kushner was there with his wife, Trump's daughter, in the White House. This time, Ivana said, nope, I'm not doing any of that. Okay. And Kushner seemed to be out of it as well. Well, turns out, no, not really. Jared Kushner has no official government role. He runs Affinity Partners, a private equity firm that received $2 billion from Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund shortly after leaving the White House in 2021. And that was made over the objections of the fund's own screening panel. And we've covered this before. I believe he doesn't get $2 billion, but I want to say he gets paid. Wow. I can't remember if it's 2 million or 10 million. I want to say it's 10 million a year. It's at least 2 million a year. So he's making big money on that. So he's been working with Witkoff. Witkoff actually is in the government, but he brokered the Gaza ceasefire along with Witkoff. He was physically, okay, in December 2nd, it's the last December 2nd, Kushner was physically present at the 5-hour Putin meeting in the Kremlin. Remember when Witkoff went to Russia? Kushner was there 5 hours. The whole meeting. There were talks in Miami with Zelensky's team on November 30th. Yeah, he sat in on that. In October, he met privately in Miami with sanctioned Russian businessman Kirill Dmitriev. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Who is head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund, Putin's handpicked negotiator. Yeah, he was there for that. And tomorrow at Geneva's trilateral talks about Ukraine, and he's confirmed he'll be there tomorrow. He has no official position, which means there's no disclosure requirements, no Senate confirmation, no conflict of interest screening. So people have been reporting on this a bit, but not as much as they should have. So the vileness that is Jared Kushner to say I do not like this guy is an understatement. Whew. Thank you, Visualize 70. He's a pipsqueak with an oversized effect because of money. He shouldn't be there. He's no diplomat. And we thought we got rid of him, but no, he's right in the middle, elbowing his way in. I've always gotten this card for him. He is a legend in his own mind. And it's only because of, for example, his the fact that he's Trump's son-in-law and the fact that he is buddy with the man who did unspeakable things to Khashoggi, that anyone even knows who he is. He does not deserve to be there. He should not be there. And why exactly? Hi, Republicans, why are you putting up with this? Oh, that's right. You have failed to grow a spine. OMG, not that nonsense. Says, was Ivanka forced to marry him like a medieval princess? No. They did break up, but it was suggested that they'd be a power couple. Was it Putin's ex-wife or an advisor to Putin who was like, yeah, you really need to get back together with him. They did it for the power and the money. Lisa says neither is Witkoff. All about deals. Cha-ching. Yes. Raymond says Jared's children have 2 convicted felons as grandfathers. Good point. Very, very good point. Oh, Lisa. Yeah, I understand. Susan says Kushner's address should be jail soon. Oh, he's now, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he buddies with Vance? Fancy Pants. Rose Blue, thank you so much. Will he get a Ross window of opportunity? Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. Sorry, my nose itches right on the end. Like I'm Elizabeth Montgomery. Yeah, my understanding is he's close to Vance. Like Vance likes him. Is that right? Yeah, he's skulking around in the background. Seriously, old Jared Wormtongue just moving around behind the would-be emperor, his father-in-law, looking at his money. He's so full of himself. I cannot express to you how full of himself this man is. There are not words. You think Trump's a narcissist. There are not words to explain how full of himself Jared Kushner is. Just throwing his money around. He does end up feeling beaten up, though. And it could, I mean, I would think that would maybe be because when Trump loses power, but I thought Vance they were buddies. And he still has all of that Saudi Arabia money and his slumlord money. Entertainment only YouTube. Maria says, company's coming when your nose itches. Annie says, Don Jr. and Vance are buddies. Junior pushed for Vance to be VP. Okay. I agree, Lee. Jared is gross. So we're really going to have to continue to put up with this man being in the center of all this with zero accountability. Really, Congress? Really? Oh, Democrats, hey, hi. Could you maybe say something about this? Make it a bigger deal? Thank you, Raymond. Yes, do hit the like button if you don't mind. Thank you. Yeah, okay, it feels like him getting kind of jostled aside a little bit. Oh, look, it's a criminal card. Okay, I do know that when Kushner took over that sovereign wealth fund, I do know that Saudi Arabia was starting, people in Saudi Arabia who were in charge of all this money, they were starting to get really annoyed because he took an entire year before he invested it anywhere. He invested any of that money anywhere because he was afraid of investing it in something that would lose money. You want to guess? You want to guess the first place he started investing that money? You know, to bolster the U.S. and no, it was an Israeli company. Yeah, he invested that money in an Israeli company. Yeah. There's the emperor. It feels like him being kind of jostled aside. And a King of Swords. All right, so this is either some kind of military thing or it is our legislators doing something. Let me see if I can get more information. The energy really is crazy right now. So Visualize 70 says, oh, so it wasn't North Korea he invested in. Bear says the Democrats have bigger fish to fry right now, not fully funding ICE for one. Oh, we're going to get there. Lucky girl's here, you international treasure. How are you doing? According to Google, Wendy Dang Murdoch, the ex-wife of Rupert Murdoch, thank you, played a key role in the reconciliation of Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner during a brief breakup in 2008. Thank you, Murdoch. It was Murdoch's wife. Thank you. And for everybody around here, especially if you're new, hi. I'm always trying to give the most accurate information. So I am not the kind of person who's just like, oh, I know best. I'm omniscient. I know no. Doing the best I can, and I'm always looking for improvement. So okay. Bear says, I love these cute kitties with their sweaters and their hats drinking tea. Yet. Little catnip tea. Duh. All right. Again, chaos. Weak. Nepo baby. A whole lot of worry. And there's the emperor again. Worried about the emperor. So that's all I'm getting. I'm just trying to get the same cards, the same message over and over. So yeah, he's back. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Okie dokie. Moving on. Cuba. 3130. We will get to domestic stuff here shortly. All right, the latest on Cuba. Lewis says, Kushner, Vance, Miller, and Dumpy all have wives. There really is a little cover for every little pot. Good point. All right. I have notes. Where are they? Cuba. Cuba's having big problems. After the U.S. seized Maduro, Venezuelan oil to Cuba stopped completely. Mexico halted oil shipments January 27th under U.S. pressure. Cuba's only oil refinery in Havana caught fire yesterday. Gosh, that couldn't possibly be anything nefarious. Airlines can't refuel in Cuba. Air Canada and Russian carriers suspended flights. ICUs, water pumping and food rationing are all failing. And Cuba recorded its lowest temperature ever on February 3rd. Freezing, 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. Lowest temperature ever in Cuba. UN Secretary General has warned of a humanitarian collapse. An economist published today saying the regime won't last until summer. Cuba's lost 10% of its population to emigration in recent years. And Nicaragua just closed the visa-free escape route for Cubans. Cuba's not going to be okay in any near-term sense. The question is whether it collapses into humanitarian catastrophe or manages a negotiated transition. President Dumpster Fire has explicitly stated regime change is the goal by the end of this year. Cuba. Oh, dear. Evan says, I have family in Cuba. Oh, I'm sorry. One of my brother-in-laws, his parents came over from Cuba. His father was a cardiac surgeon. But his mother's still with us and is an absolute sweetheart. What I would have given to have a mother-in-law who was that nice. Anyway, Cuba. Oh boy. Right now I'm getting an ongoing humanitarian problem. Resources.
Excuse me.
Oh, hang on one second. I'm being summoned by Mom. Just a second. Okay, sorry. I have to help Mom. All right. Resources. Very shaky ground. Humanitarian. Well, there's a cutoff. It's a refusal. So sorry. That's a refusal, but this is more like active help, waiting for their ship to come in, waiting for resources to come in. For now, I'm just getting suffering. It's just awful. What is wrong with people? I don't understand. I don't understand. Shouldn't I don't know. Look, I know I'm a little Pollyannish. I know I'm a little naive. I understand that. But shouldn't there be like a universal thing that no children should go hungry? Technically, no one should go hungry, but shouldn't it be like a general, there are no children who should go hungry, period? I know, I'm naive. Oh, regime change. Joyce is asking. Lou says, I second that. Maria says, yes. I don't even think it would be impossible to do. But, yeah. I wonder if Trump and Kushner will try to build resorts in Cuba in exchange for helping out. I wish I was joking. Trump and Fuhrer. Donald Trump and Fuhrer. I like that, Cindy. Okay. There's going to be stuff going on we can't see. Surprise. That's movement that can also be immigration and all this kind of stuff. But those are some weapons moving over the water. It's a little worrying. Luckily, that's the last you see of that. But working secrets. Fruits of labor, dynasty. Well, if you just make sure that Trump and Kushner can have their resorts and make insane amounts of money, well, maybe Cuba will get some help. Or just starve Cubans out until they change the regime themselves. SKB says, Autumn, right before you said you had to help your mom, it had it come to my mind the word mom. Very cool. Let's just start calling him Donald Epstein. There we go. President Epstein. The only thing is I'm concerned that somebody might take that as being anti-Semitic, and I'm not. So that's the only reason. But yes, Donald Jeffrey Trump. Yeah, 100%. Oh, Democrats. Could you? Yeah. Thing is, dumpster fire has its own problems here. There is hope for Cuba. This I guess apparently this is my card for Cuba. I didn't know I had a card for Cuba, but this is it, the star. Yes, dumpster fire trying to do things, illusions, don't look over here. But I do have Democrats, and these are good guys trying to do something. But I've got Cubans suffering, which is not good. But this isn't him as emperor. That isn't dumpster fire as emperor. That's him as just the pathetic would-be king that he is. So we may get some intervention by, I don't know, people with morals, decency, and a heart. I'm not saying that the leaders of Cuba should stay as leaders. I'm just saying starving out a country is not a good look. Yeah, Maria. Hey, Satan, come get your boy. Yes. Yep. Okay. Anywho. All right. And wait, there's more. And I seriously, we're going to be here a while. Whoa. What did my phone just do? Oh, there we go. All right. There was, I want to address this briefly. Moving back to domestic stuff. There was a question about who asked this. Hang on. This is what happens when my notes are on my phone. I've got to scroll a little bit. So, oh, wow. Something's gone wrong. Look at my, no, that's not fuzzy. That's text overlapping text, which is very strange. I can't even read it. Let me see if I can see it on my computer. 1 second. Just 1 second. Move this over there. Pull this up here. Oh, there we go. Update this page, and then, okay, so the question, okay, Cuba. Melissa was asking about an Iran attack in Cuba. And we covered that. That isn't it. There was okay, hang on. There was somebody. Okay. G Green was asking, will the US organize in time to save most of our population and the migrating population that will be coming our way? That's more of a long-term question. I'm probably not going to cover that today, G Green, but I will carry it over to tomorrow. Thread of Hope, that was it. Thread of Hope at, where am I? 44 minutes in. Thread of Hope said, since every presidential administration since Clinton knew about Epstein's crimes, and many state AGs did as well, yet no arrests were made besides Epstein and Maxwell, and given the vast connections between Epstein and governments, financial institutions, and corporations, the only path toward actual justice and equality in our nation may be through revolution, not just reformation of our systems. Has this truth been revealed to push us as a people to create a new and stronger democracy? Is this our nation's fated opportunity to heal and correct and truly embody the democratic ideals we have failed to actually enact? Or is it more likely we take some half measures and continue operating as a predatory oligarchy? And this is absolutely worth looking at. But I'm I am going to respectfully push back on one thing. As I'm putting this in the description box so I don't lose it. I'm going to push back gently on one thing, and that is, even though there was somebody in Barack Obama's administration, there was one person who was close to Epstein. Gross. I personally do not believe for 1 minute that Barack Obama actively knew about what was happening. I honestly don't. I do not believe for 1 minute that he would have just let that slide. I just don't. And because he was intelligent, but also he was a black man, he wasn't included in a lot of that stuff. He was an outsider. And he was a black man. He is a black man. Added to that, even if I thought that was possible, which I don't, Michelle would have killed him. And that I believe 100%. So I want to pull a couple of cards on Barack Obama and this mess. I'm not saying that there was no information anywhere. I'm just saying I really have trouble believing. And yes, Libby, Obama has morals. And Kelly says, I agree. No, says Michelle does not play. Oh, true. No. There was heinousness was happening, but he wasn't privy to. He wasn't privy to this. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't included. If he had known then what we know now, he absolutely would have moved heaven and earth. I honestly believe that. So, Anne says information and actionable information are not the same things. Yeah. So, I believe he absolutely would have taken action. No doubt. I have no doubt. So let's not, honestly, I wouldn't put this on Obama. I honestly wouldn't. And I don't have, and I know I'm a Democrat, very, very clear and open about that, but yeah. Anyway, but there's more. Bear says, I agree. President Obama was not aware of the Epstein-Trump trafficking business. Yeah. Susan says Obama didn't have the right background and money to be included in Trump's social circle and skin color. Oh, boy. All right. So let me, but there are questions here about, so we covered Obama. So, but there is a question here that Thread of Hope had about how extreme are we going to have to get? Joyce, I'm gonna move on a little bit from that. So, but your questions are important to me. There's so much today. So, has this truth been revealed to push us as a people to create a new and stronger democracy? Well, yes. I mean, yes. I think that's Pluto going through Capricorn, digging everything up there, and then now in Aquarius, digging everything up there and raising up all this Aquarian energy, which is very much about democracy, which is very much about equality, humanitarianism, technology, the collective. It's absolutely. we're headed also into a Uranus return. I mean, there's a lot of revolutionary energy. Life sparks is Obama respects life. Yeah. Excuse me. So, is it more likely we'll take some half measures and continue operating as a predatory oligarchy? That's a good question. Comes down to who owns our politicians, who we vote for. And just so you're aware, it's now turning out that special elections that have been happening in different parts of the country, there are solidly red counties all over the place who there was no question a Republican would win, and the Democrat has won by basically a blowout in red districts. The Republicans have a lot of reason to worry about the midterms. So all this talk about Trump and his ilk controlling the elections and all of this, they can't even keep some of their reddest districts red now. So, and it's going to come down to who do we elect? And we have to make certain we elect the people who are going to clean this up. Do not forget that the people in charge right now, they are incompetent. And most of them are dumb as bricks. And I hate to say that about anybody because it's just rude, but it's true. Mayor says people are waking up. Yeah. Someone wrote that it's aliens versus predators. Wow. That was good. That was good, Lois. That was good. Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree, innocent potato. That Robin Williams said Congress members should be required to wear jackets like NASCAR drivers with all their sponsors. Yeah, I agree. All right. Let me scroll down here. That was good. Yeah, the economy, not great. And Republicans thought that they would have all this power and be able to get through anything they wanted, and there's disappointment there. There are a lot of secrets still. There are a lot of things going on we don't know about that need to be exposed. So it's a matter of between our Congress people and the courts, who are we going to put in power? Who's going to reveal this stuff? Because the cult, we're not doing that. Matter of fact, even the cult isn't entirely doing the cult anymore. Obviously, there's some people, they're going to die on this hill. But Republicans are losing in their own districts. They're only what? Just the tiniest handful of counties or special races where Republicans have won. So, Suzanne, I hope you feel better. Free Spirit says, let the light shine on what they tried to hide. Amen, sister. Oh, or actually, I don't know. Amen, brother. Whatever, whichever. All right. And wait, there's more. So at 54:55, and I told you I'm gonna go late today because there's barely scratching the surface of how much news there is. So both Massie and Khanna have identified 6 men, quote, likely incriminated, unquote, in the unredacted Epstein files. 6. At the start. Bondi called Massie a failed politician. Wow, you used words with that many syllables? DOJ's Blanche accused them of naming innocent people. Yes, because Epstein was surrounded by innocent people. Oh, no, those were his victims. Yeah. Will any of the 6 ever see justice? Yeah. Joyce says another Republican is leaving the House for health reasons. Really? Who? Oh yeah, innocent potato. That was a classic. When Adolf Hitler said, "We had to protect our airports from the British Army during the Revolution." Yes, yeah, protect the airports in 1776. Good grief. Spiritual Hack says Massie today called it the Epstein administration. Yes. And Bear, yes, we need to support all of our Democratic candidates and vote. Vote, vote, vote. Yes. So, well, the 6 people be held accountable? It's not awful, like absolutely not, but all right, we definitely have good Democrats fighting the good fight. Good, good, good. And we want all the receipts. This is my card for evidence. We want all the receipts. Thanks. Okay, thanks. There's Bondi and her ilk. But yeah, all the receipts. But there's still some heartache. This could be some people held accountable, but it's, excuse me, for example, it's only a 3, not a 6. Do you know what I mean? So I'm getting a, so I don't know how to put that into words, but that's the answer. Anyway, yes, Bear, Bondi was arrogant and insolent the whole time. And Jasmine Crockett put her in her place. Ah, mwah, chef's kiss. So, all right. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, okay. The DHS shut down at 58:30. DHS shutdown began Saturday. TSA and the Coast Guard are working without pay. Homan, unhuman Homan, dismissed all Democratic demands on Face the Nation this very morning. Congress is on recess until February 23rd. Today's the 15th. Will Democrats hold the line? Yeah. Whew. I got suspension right in the middle. Voters and decisions. Okay, so that's there. Republican plan, very weak, suspended. Trump claiming victory, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he'll get a victory because it ends in the Queen of Cups. And she's looking right at this big reward right there. So There was something else. Where was it? I don't remember where it was, but there was somewhere in my notes talking about, there was somebody else who said, someone in the administration who said something about this shutdown. And how they won't, what was it? They won't, like, Democrats will never get what they want or something like that. Let me see. Yes, Raymond, DHS, Department of Human Suffering. Yeah. Well, so far we've had Democrats working together. Good. Please keep that up. Trying to care for people. There's President Dumpster Fire the man, but we've got the Republicans, the invertebrate Republicans doing his will in the middle. But then I've got courts. And we already know that there are court issues going forward about what ICE has done. So maybe the courts are going to take some kind of action before Congress is even back. Free Spirit says, "Oh, I just noticed the kitties have cups of tea. Catnip tea." Melissa says, "Help, I guess you are almost done." Oh, actually, I was going to stay on a little longer than normal because there's so much news. Help? You okay? DHS, the shutdown. Anything else? Yeah, this has Johnson's ugly fingerprints all over it. And the far right, yeah. Chaos, howling at the moon, awfulness, bullies, adding insult to injury. I don't have a resolution. There will be a resolution one way or the other, but it may not be for a while because Amy says Autumn works harder than Congress. Well, I appreciate you saying a nice thing about me, but that's a pretty low bar. And I'm here every day. Thank you. Thank you. I'm being silly. I don't think we're going to get a resolution quickly. At least that's what the cards are just like, meh. Meh. So, Annie says, I'll have to say bye for now. My nephew's stopping by to see me. Aw, watch the rest later. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Take care, Annie. So, I'm not reading on Lutnick. Okay, State of the Union, 1 hour, 4 minutes in. Will the State of the Union still happen? Because Jeffries has questioned today whether the State of the Union should be held during the DHS shutdown, saying Republicans would rather shut down FEMA, the Coast Guard, and the TSA than reform ICE. Do you want to tell him he's wrong? Because State of the Union, ugh, I will not be live for that. Not a chance. Unless Hal Sparks is covering it, I won't even be watching it. Ugh. Oh, thank you, Guadalupe. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Bear. Oh, yeah. State of the Union is soon. That's the energy. Card for the reading. we're standing up to the Republicans. It's having more of an effect than we realize. I am getting that. That's good. Look, criminality. Look, far-right action. Suspension, right in the middle. Democrats, a whole group of Democrats holding together. Page of Wands, very weak. There's not much energy here. It's like there's nothing here. It's just. So if it goes forward, then who cares? Or maybe Dumpster Fire himself will do something. Oh, here we go. Dumpster Fire himself will attack Iran or blah, blah, blah. Also, if he's going to attack Iran, he's not going to want to do the State of the Union right afterward or during that. He's not going to want to be in a room with all those Democrats. Yes. OMG, not that nonsense. Boo Boo is on the throne behind me on the heating pad. Oh my gosh. His back paws are crossed like this. And he is sound out. His little paws, back paws, like that. It's adorable. Sharon's asking, is he actually going to be able to do the hour-long drone? Yeah, let's have... Oh, I like dogs too. I'm just a cat person, and every day spending time in this awfulness, I think we all need reminders of just the good in the world, the kindness and the cuteness and the art and the, yeah. Disappointment. Trump always wants an audience, but day late and a dollar short. Trump wants to go out there, of course. He wants the attention. He wants to stir things up. But look how, other than the cult here, look how small these cards are. They're just kind of empty and weak. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he can go stand anywhere and flap his gums, but I'm not getting much. All right. Speaking of, at 108.10, 108.15. Okay, speaking of the midterm elections, Trump he's vowed, voter ID, whether approved by Congress or not, threatening an executive order after the SAVE Act stalled in the Senate. A judge already blocked his last voter ID order. So can he bypass Congress on elections? Wow, how un-American of you. Oh, Bear, thank you. Jean says, I got a heated throat for sitting on the couch. The cats fight over my lap when I turn it on. Poll tax. Yes, Melissa. It's a poll tax. And will disenfranchise women. Which is the point. So is he going to be able to, is President Dumpster Fire going to bypass the... I'm just getting him on the phone. I just need 11,000 votes. Come on. No. And I don't think it's going to be close. It's not going to be that close, certainly. Yeah, they want to do aggressive things. These are the Republicans. These are just regular Republicans. and a huge, massive upswell of Democratic voters. So Republicans trying to get their message out or whatever, but vote for Democrats, vote for families, vote for decency, vote for, use some higher wisdom. And also, we want to get all those secrets out. That's the other thing. Entertainment only YouTube. In my opinion, those millions of other files and what have you, I think it's guaranteed Trump's all over them. They're hiding the worst stuff. That's the point. They can't destroy it because there are too many copies, but they absolutely are hiding things that make that show Trump was more involved than we know now. That's my opinion. If voting for Democrats is going to bring this information out, people are going to vote for Democrats. And the law, they can't just release all the Epstein stuff because it would be too bad for Trump and his ilk. So they can only drag their feet, which just brings us closer to midterms. That's not good for them. So, okay. So voter ID, no. No. Just no. Okay. Oh, and I definitely want to make sure we cover this at 1 hour 12 minutes, 1:12:05. 1:12:10. Schumer and Schiff are introducing legislation for the Government Accountability Office, the GAO, to investigate the Trump administration's handling of Venezuelan oil money placed in offshore Qatar accounts. Hello. Oh, infuriating. So, will we finally get oversight on all that money? Man. Yeah, true. I mean, he's not even hiding the grift. No, not remotely. Okay, there's a chance. Right now, we know we can't rely on Republicans. They go along with whatever will get them money and power. Ace of Swords. Oh, I do like to see the Sword of Truth. Walking away with something unfinished here. Like, you're supposed to tell us. We're supposed to know. Okay. So we will do what we need to fill the gap, to find out the truth. And these are both aces, so those are fresh starts. I like it. Where's the money? Where's the stuff overseas? And that would be aggressive legislation or law enforcement, but this could also be there could be some distraction from military stuff. So yeah, but there's this, I'm liking the Sword of Truth. I'm liking this Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. I'm liking that a lot. So you're saying there's a chance. All right. I thought I'd be able to go on longer, but I am starting to get so tired. This has taken a lot out of me. But I'm going to carry a bunch of these over to tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of news to cover tomorrow as well. We are going to get through this. And I know it seems like we won't, but we will. And we're going to vote. And we're not going to give up. So, It is 1:36 p.m. here in Chicago. In just under an hour and a half, I'll be over on the Creative Sprints channel, and you're always welcome. It's Sarah's day off, but I'll be there, and we'll be productive, and we will move toward a better country, a better community, and just be creative and get away from the news for a while. So please remember, you are not alone, that we're in this together, and there are good days ahead. All right, so hang in there. And as always, I'll see you later. Okay. All right. Bye.